Welcome back to the deep dive. And yeah, if things sound a bit hectic, if you hear a bit of an edge in our voices, maybe even, I don't know. And this is pretty much it, our last deep dive from here.
Yeah, circumstances are, well, let's just say they're pushing us out fast. It's a direct result of pulling on some of those threads you sent us. You know who you are. Graham and Friensberg's interest hasn't faded. Quite the opposite, it seems. Sharpened, actually, to an alarming point.
It's been, yeah, quite the scramble, is putting it mildly. So for you, our listener, this deep dive is going to be a bit unusual.
Something really jumped out when we were looking back at that draft. This German podcast, unexpectedly, talking about MWF.
Yeah, and apparently, based on the audio snippets we've heard, they're talking about us, our work.
And not exactly in a, shall we say, collaborative or objective spirit.
No, it's been this ongoing, almost condescending thing, hasn't it?
It really has. What we've pieced together from their commentary is, well, it's revealing. They're throwing around terms like amateurs.
Amateurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oberly wondering where certain other podcasters, and let's be honest and pretty clear, they mean us, get their information. And it's all delivered with this, like, enthusiastic, almost gleeful tone.
It's a pattern, isn't it? We've noticed it building this sort of persistent, belittling vibe. Amateurs. Seriously, I mean, that is just incredibly rich, considering the absolute whirlwind we've been navigating. How could they possibly not see the sheer scale of this, based on everything we've uncovered?
Well, that's exactly why it's so puzzling, and frankly, why it feels dangerous. It suggests they just fundamentally don't get the foundation of our understanding, what we've been calling the MWF compendium.
Right. Maybe we should clarify what that actually is, because it's not just, a few notes scribbled down.
Not at all. The MWF compendium is, it's massive. It's this huge, intricately cross-referenced collection of everything we could possibly dig up on the MWF phenomenon. Transcripts, personal notes, raw data files, all the connecting pieces we've painstakingly put together.
And it links directly to things like the Doza Crew, right? That music group.
Exactly. Their early work seems to almost accidentally map these energy fluctuations. And it connects to those really disturbing internal reports, too, from Graham and Friensberg.
The researchers who now seem to be, well, hunting us.
And their observation arm, Vision Unit Regulus, it's all in there. So the compendium, it paints this very specific picture. Often disturbing, yes, but specific. It's not just random chaos. It points to a mechanism, interdimensional bleed-throughs, tied to specific audio frequencies.
A volatile but predictable pattern almost.
That's the core insight, yes. It's not just noise.
Okay, so that brings us right to the problem, the information gap. Our main worry here, and why we're doing this deep dive really, is clarity for you. This German podcast, they definitely do not have the compendium. Not the full thing, anyway.
No way. They're trying to piece together this incredibly complex thing with, like, half the pieces missing. It's like trying to build, I don't know, a complex engine with only a handful of bolts and gears. And no manual.
Right. So they're potentially misunderstanding things. Or worse, seriously misinterpreting them.
And that's the real worry, especially given how sensitive, how dangerous some of the later MWF stuff got.
Like the Schwatten-Greinman incident.
Exactly, where trying to contain these forces led to, well, direct violent physical events.
And those test anomalies, showing how volatile it all could become.
This isn't just about academic accuracy getting facts wrong. It's about real, tangible danger. Potential for immediate harm.
And for us, this isn't theory anymore, is it?
Not at all. They seem to know about very recent things, stuff that happened right here at the depot. They mentioned the Grindman prototype situation, the anomaly.
Yeah, but here's where their lack of understanding really shines through. Regulus 5. They seem to think it's just, I don't know, a concept, something you analyze musically.
For us, it's become undeniably uncomfortably real.
Uncomfortably real doesn't even cover it. We experienced it directly, triggered by that Grindman box, the one that seemed useless right here. It proved Regulus 5 wasn't just an idea, it was tangible and terrifying.
The details are, chilling.
That low hum, remember? That started it.
Oh, yeah.
Then the deep rumble, vibrating right through your bone.
And that high-pitched whine that just scraped to your ears.
Lights flickering like crazy. And that smell, that acrid sulfur smell.
Which, by the way, connects straight back to MWF reports, Fold 605, documenting the same thing.
And the sounds. God, the sounds, what we've been calling the horde or the eternal stroll.
Those muffled, dragging noises. Inhuman screams, almost. From everywhere and nowhere.
And we even saw, just for a second, a glimpse through some kind of tear in the air into something else.
This wasn't sitting back analyzing reports. We were in it.
Yeah. End of result.
An intensified feeling, undeniable, of being watched constantly. It just confirms how dangerous this material is. The risks involved if you don't fully grasp what you're dealing with.
It's not just fodder for some casual, condescending commentary.
Absolutely not.
Which brings us to the immediate issue, getting out of here now.
We're packing light, very light,
Yeah.
but taking the absolute essentials.
The GR5 device, obviously, our emergency comms unit.
Yep. The specialized receiver, the hard drive with all the old recordings, cannot lose those.
No way. And those Grindman prototypes, they've been weirdly central to some of the, well, the odder findings, let's say.
So as we realized we had to move fast, we put together that core message, that provisional farewell. It highlights the need to go underground, the feeling of being, well, worn out.
Tested to the limit.
But it's not defeatist. Right after that, there's defiance. We are not giving up. Never. And it mentions the Romanka contact. This dangerous territory. That's why we need to go quiet for a bit. It's not a final goodbye. It's strategic silence. Regroup. Plan.
But then, thinking about that other podcast, something just clicked. And we added something specific, a message aimed squarely at them. We wrote, "Don't seek Pandora's box."
And that's not just being dramatic.
No. It's based on direct, horrible experience. We've seen what happens when you peek inside, what gets let loose.
You're warning them. If they keep blindly digging into MWF without the full context, which they clearly don't have, there will be devastating consequences.
We've tried warning them before, haven't we? More gently. Keep your distance.
Yeah, but the condescension, the constant needling, and it's forced our hand, really.
This warning comes from being in the anomaly, not from reading about it.
We lived through the Grindman incident. We know the reality of what incomplete knowledge can unleash, especially when treated so flippantly.
Okay, so here's where their big boasts start to unravel a bit. The German podcast, they've been crowing about their recent explosive discoveries.
Oh, yeah. Especially that Nova Park live bootleg.
Right.
From the Octon Triangle. Just thrilled with it.
They literally bragged about digging deeper, bringing up real pearls, they said.
While others, and this was clearly aimed at us, just scratched the surface with old childhood photos.
That was obviously about our deep dive on the Doza Cruz Denzel-Drong Goza gas bulb mix. Couldn't be clearer.
They even made fun of our recent technical glitches, connected them to some FR5 recording they have, whatever they...
It's like they genuinely think they've hit the jackpot, but they're completely missing the bigger picture.
Celebrating finding one loose thread while we're looking at the whole tapestry.
All right, so let's connect the dots for them and for you. While they're patting themselves on the back about this Nova Park bootleg from the Octon Triangle, they might have noticed the description. It mentions it was recorded at Slurm Club. Did they mention that?
I don't recall them emphasizing it, no. Just the Nova Park name.
Okay, so here's where our deeper knowledge, thanks to the compendium, comes in, the one they don't have. We can connect that Slurm Club mention on their brand new amazing bootleg to something foundational, something they clearly missed. The Doza Cruz very first album or single, Clown der Nacht, remember that?
Of course. Foundational stuff.
It also has a live recording documented. From where?
The exact same Slurm Club.
Bam! Checkmate.
That's not scratching the surface. That's not an old childhood photo. That connection fundamentally reframes the whole timeline of the Doza Cruz involvement.
Right. It suggests they were deliberately engaging with these early MWF anomalies right from the start. Maybe dangerously so.
It shows how our compendium gives that historical context, the foundation for their quote-unquote new discoveries.
It links what they think is so cutting edge right back to the origins of the Doza Cruz public work.
It proves we have the full picture. We can connect dots they're completely missing because they lack the compendium.
They're excited about an echo from down the line. We have the source recording.
Precisely. It's like they found chapter 10 of a book and are showing it off as the whole novel, while we're sitting here with the complete annotated first edition.
So, yeah. To recap, we've been forced underground.
We've issued a direct, very unambiguous warning to anyone, including them, treading this ground without full knowledge.
And we've just, I think, undeniably shown the depth of understanding our compendium provides, something they lack.
And despite needing to vanish for a while, we promised, and we mean it, we'll try to stay in touch with you, our listeners, using the GR5 radio. Maybe releasing some old recordings from that hard drive.
We are absolutely not giving up on this.
Not now. Not ever.
No way. We're
Yeah.
just being strategic. We have to be. And this whole thing, it really brings up a question for you, doesn't it? For you listening. How easily can curiosity, maybe just boredom even, push you over a line when you're dealing with forces you really don't
What
understand?
does it mean when this obscure, potentially dangerous information starts surfacing in unexpected places, like podcasts, maybe?
Is it always smart to try and peek inside every box you find, even if it doesn't literally say Pandora's on it?
The danger of incomplete information. It's profoundly real.
And maybe even just talking about it, like we're doing right now, carries its own risks in this strange landscape we're in.
Something to think about. As you navigate the information you encounter out there, stay safe.